In an unprecedented and historic moment for the Roman Catholic Church, American Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost has been elected as the new Supreme Pontiff, taking the papal name Leo XIV. This extraordinary development, announced on Thursday, marks the first time in the 2,000-year history of the Church that a native of the United States has been chosen to occupy the chair of St. Peter. The surprise election was confirmed by the College of Cardinals following a closed-door conclave that captivated the attention of the global Catholic community and the wider world. The election of Cardinal Prevost came as a stunning shift in Vatican politics, especially given the traditional dominance of European, particularly Italian, and Latin American candidates for the papacy in recent decades. Cardinal Prevost, who hails from Chicago, Illinois, brings with him a unique blend of pastoral experience, theological scholarship, and diplomatic acumen. Born in 1955, his journey from a humble American upbringing to the pinnacle of ecclesiastical authority has been nothing short of remarkable. The white smoke rising from the Sistine Chapel on Thursday signaled the successful conclusion of the conclave. Crowds gathered in St. Peter's Square erupted in applause and anticipation as the announcement was made from the balcony of the Apostolic Palace, Habemus Papam, "We have a Pope." Moments later, Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re introduced the newly elected pontiff as Pope Leo XIV, a name not used in over a century, evoking the legacy of Pope Leo XIV, a reformer and intellectual giant of the late 19th century. Stepping onto the balcony, Pope Leo XIV greeted the world with humility and a calm but commanding presence. His first words to the faithful were, "Brothers and sisters, may peace be upon you. I accept this calling with deep humility, trusting in God's mercy and the prayers of the Church." The significance of his nationality was not lost on anyone. For centuries, the papacy had remained primarily centered in Europe, but the elevation of an American prelate now reflects the global nature of Catholicism, which is witnessing rapid growth outside its traditional heartlands. Cardinal Robert Prevost's path to the papacy has been shaped by a lifetime of service, learning, and missionary work. A member of the Augustinian order, he was ordained a priest in 1982 and spent many years working in Latin America, particularly in Peru, where he served as a bishop and was known for his deep commitment to social justice, indigenous rights, and theological dialogue. Fluent in Spanish, Italian, and English, his pastoral sensitivity and intellectual rigor earned him a reputation as a bridge builder in a time when the global Church is grappling with cultural divides, doctrinal tensions, and the urgent need for renewal. In 2023, Pope Francis appointed Prevost as prefect of the Dicastery for Bishops, a key Vatican role overseeing the appointment of bishops worldwide. His performance in that role won him widespread respect within the Curia, as he demonstrated balanced judgment, transparency, and a firm yet pastoral approach to church governance. It was during this tenure that his name began to be quietly floated among the Papabili, the men considered viable candidates for the papacy. His election signals more than just a symbolic break from tradition. Pope Leo XIII is widely expected to continue and possibly accelerate some of the reforms initiated under Pope Francis. These include tackling clerical sexual abuse with greater transparency, decentralizing Vatican authority, embracing environmental stewardship as a moral imperative, and promoting dialogue across faiths and ideologies. His deep engagement with the Global South, particularly his years of service in Peru, suggest a pontificate that will continue emphasizing outreach to the developing world and the marginalized. Reactions poured in swiftly from leaders across the globe. U.S. President, along with various senators and governors, congratulated Pope Leo XIV, expressing pride and hope that his leadership would foster peace and unity. In Rome, pilgrims from around the world expressed joy and curiosity, eager to understand what this new papacy would mean for the future of their faith. Meanwhile, church leaders from Latin America, Africa, and Asia hailed his election as a sign that the Church was entering a new, more inclusive era. But with great promise comes immense responsibility. Pope Leo XIV inherits a church facing profound challenges, declining vocations in the West, deep theological rifts over issues like LGBTQ inclusion and the role of women in the Church, as well as the enduring stain of clerical abuse scandals. There is also the ongoing task of reconciling traditional teachings with modern realities, a balancing act that previous pontiffs have navigated with varying degrees of success. Observers note that his chosen papal name, Leo XIV, could provide insight into his vision for the Church. Pope Leo XIII, remembered as a champion of Catholic social teaching and a defender of workers' rights, laid the groundwork for modern Catholic engagement with the world. By adopting this name, Pope Leo XIV may be signaling a renewed emphasis on social justice, human dignity, and a thoughtful, faith-informed dialogue with the modern age. Pope Leo XIV's first public Mass, scheduled for this Sunday in St. Peter's Basilica, is expected to draw record crowds and will be closely watched for early indications of his pastoral tone and priorities. Vatican officials have confirmed that his initial encyclicals will address the pressing issues of peace in conflict zones, particularly in the Middle East and Ukraine, the role of youth in the Church, and the importance of ecological conversion in response to climate change. The election of an American pope is bound to have cultural implications as well. American Catholics, a diverse and often divided group, now see one of their own in the highest position of their faith. While some may hope for more conservative doctrinal stances, others anticipate a progressive push. Pope Leo XIV's nuanced background suggests he may resist being pigeonholed into traditional ideological categories, favoring instead a pragmatic, listening church rooted in gospel values. Inside the Vatican, sources suggest that Pope Leo XIV plans to conduct a top-to-bottom review of the Curia within his first 100 days, aiming to streamline operations and increase transparency. Already, rumors are circulating that he may appoint more laypeople and women to senior advisory roles, further democratizing the Vatican's inner workings. As the world begins to adjust to this historic new era, one thing is clear. The papacy of Leo XIV represents a powerful symbol of change. Not only has the Church chosen a leader from a country previously never represented at this level, but it has also embraced a man with deep pastoral roots, global experience, and a demonstrated commitment to justice, mercy, and renewal. The road ahead will not be easy. Pope Leo XIV must navigate centuries-old traditions while addressing 21st-century crises. But with the eyes of the world upon him and the prayers of millions behind him, he begins his pontificate with hope, humility, and a vision for a church that serves not just Rome, but the whole world. As he closed his first public address, standing beneath the timeless sculptures and frescoes of the Vatican, Pope Leo XIII offered a prayer that may well define his papacy. May we walk together in love and truth, bearing witness to Christ's light in every corner of the earth.